It's rare that a new weapon comes along and offers up a completely new way to play a class, but that is exactly what happened with the Recon a few weeks ago when the P08 Pistol Carbine was introduced. But is this weapon worth using, and how does it stack up against other close quarter options? What's going on, guys and gals? My name is Shadox, and today on the Armory we are taking a look at the P08 Pistol Carbine. I'll go over the weapon stats, I'll tell you what the weapon does well and where it struggles, and also give you my suggestions for specializations and playstyle. Let's start out with a general overview of the P08 stats. The P08 Carbine is a semi-automatic weapon, meaning that every time you pull the trigger, one round will be fired from the weapon. The maximum rate of fire that can be sustained with the P08 is 360 rounds per minute, or 6 shots per second. These rounds deal a maximum of 36 damage per shot to the body and a minimum of 18, meaning that you will require between 3 and 6 bullets to down an enemy from full health. The P08 does have a fairly large magazine, containing 32 rounds with 1 round in the chamber. The reload times are 2.53 seconds for a tactical reload, meaning that there is still 1 round in the chamber, and 4 seconds if the weapon is completely dry. One of the strongest aspects of the P08 Carbine is its ease of use. The weapon only has a vertical recoil of 0.85 degrees per shot, and due to its semi-automatic nature, has 0 horizontal recoil. This makes the P08 a strong candidate at most ranges, but its slower muzzle velocity will make it a bit lackluster at those further distances, with the muzzle velocity of the 9x19 Parabellum pistol cartridge of only 420 meters per second. Let's take a look at the time to kill chart for the P08 to get a better idea of how the weapon will perform at certain ranges. Up close, it's extremely lethal, mainly due to its moderate rate of fire but impressive 36 damage per bullet. This gives the P08 a minimum time to kill of just 333 milliseconds, which is on par with most of the fully automatic submachine guns and assault rifles in the game. However, the P08 only manages to hold on to this feat out to 10 meters, where afterwards the damage sharply drops off. And at 25 meters, the time to kill accounting for bullet travel time is 560 milliseconds, and this continues to increase dramatically with distance. One key aspect to remember though is due to the weapon's low recoil and semi-automatic accuracy buffs, the P08 will hold a significantly higher hit chance at range when compared to other, faster options. This evens the playing field a bit, making the P08 a strong choice for engagements out to about 30 to 40 meters. But once you are outside of that 20 meter range, some of the other self-loading rifle options available to the Recon class become more suitable picks. So we can gather that the P08 is best suited for the close quarters, where it can take advantage of its damage and ease of use. The P08 is also helped in this regard by its amazing hipfire accuracy. The base hipfire spread of the P08 while standing and stationary is only 0.9 degrees, and is 1.2 degrees minimum while moving. This hipfire can be used extremely effectively to reduce the time it takes to down an enemy in close quarters, as you don't have to have the extra time of aiming down the sights. The P08's base hipfire is so incredible that it can be used to down a target with 100% hit chance out to 10 meters if you aren't moving, and this can be improved further with specializations. Speaking of specializations, let's quickly go over which perks the P08 Carbine has to choose from. The first choice is between quick aim and slings and swivels. Quick aim will reduce your time to aim down the sights by 33%. And slings and swivels will shorten the deploy time, meaning how long it takes for you to switch weapons, and the perk allows you to shoot sooner after sprinting. Choosing the left path after the first option will net you enhanced grips and polished action. Enhanced grips will tighten up the base hipfire spread for both stationary and moving fire by 25%, and polished action will decrease the spread increase per shot by 43%. On the other hand, if we choose from the right hand path, we get custom stock and lightened stock. Custom stock will reduce the recoil deviation while moving and aiming from 0.3 degrees to 0.2, which is a 33% improvement. Lightened stock will make your ADS movement speed 60% faster, and this will make moving in and out of cover quicker and make you a harder target to hit while strafing. The final choice with specializations are between either quick reload and barrel bedding. Quick reload will speed up all of your reload times by 15%, and this reduces the tactical reload from 2.53 seconds to 2.2, and the empty reload is improved from 4 seconds to 3.48 seconds. Barrel bedding, on the other hand, will reduce the recoil deviation while aimed and stationary, from 0.15 degrees to a minuscule 0.05 degrees, essentially removing all horizontal recoil deviation even when you fire at the maximum rate of fire. Keeping the weapon strengths in mind, let's start looking at which specializations best suit this weapon. Our first choice is between quick aim and slings and swivels, and this one is a bit tricky and highly dependent on your playstyle. Quick aim will benefit you the most when you are firing beyond 20 meters or so, where you need to be quick in order to beat out almost any other primary. But on the other hand, if you're a run and gun player and like to get up close and personal, slings and swivels can reduce the time to shoot from sprinting from the base 213 milliseconds down to only 106 milliseconds. The large ammunition capacity and high damage per shot up close will make the improved weapon switch times a bit less relevant for the P08. So in this case, let's go with quick aim, as it will help us be more effective at those further ranges where accuracy and speed is of the most importance. Our next choice is between improved hipfire performance and improved ADS performance. Since the P08 is primarily a choice for the aggressive recon who wants to be on and near objectives, choosing the hipfire enhancements will prove more useful. With these two specializations, you can now hipfire kill an enemy with 100% hit chance out to an astounding 14.5 meters. This does assume that you are stationary, so expect a little bit less distance if you are moving. And of course, that also assumes that you can keep your crosshairs center mass on the target. Choosing the improvements to ADS fire, on the other hand, could prove useful on more open maps, where hipfire is less likely to come into play. But in general, I would recommend choosing enhanced grips and polished action. The final decision between quick reload and barrel bedding is a fairly simple choice in my opinion. Due to the weapon's semi-automatic nature and the aggressive playstyle associated with the P08, barrel bedding offers greatly diminished returns compared to our other option of quick reload. The P08 already does have a fairly quick tactical reload, but the empty reload can be brutally long if you aren't expecting it. Choosing quick reload can get you back in the fight quicker, and this supplements the weapon's aggressive nature. So our final specialization choices are quick aim, enhanced grips, polished action, and quick reload. Now let's talk about optics. The P08 does have a few options that can suit a wide range of playstyles. You can choose the iron sights for a 1.5 times zoom, laddie sights for the 1.25 zoom plus a crosshair, a 2 times close range scope, or the 3 times medium scope. Sights are generally user preference. However, I personally found that the 2x close range scope fit the weapon best, as it allowed me to still be effective in the close to medium ranges where hipfire just wouldn't cut it, but it still allowed me to be precise enough to hit prone campers a good distance away. But test out the different sights and see what works best for you. So how should you use the P08? As tempting as it seems to rush into objectives with the P08, there is a better use case: flanking. The Recon has access to 2 gadgets that make this loadout a master of getting behind the enemy and surprising them for some impressive kill streaks. Use the flares as often as you possibly can to learn where the enemy players are. From there, place your spawn beacon in an advantageous position to be able to get back into the fight if you are caught. And then once you're ready, move in and use your accurate and low recoil fire to take them down. If you manage to land a headshot, then all you need is one more body shot to take them out, making quick work of anyone that is within the 10-meter range. If someone does get too close for comfort, or you're surprised, the P08's strong hipfire can keep them at bay. Additionally, if you also use the Pathfinder combat role, you can spawn on other squads' spawn beacons, and this can be especially useful if yours is discovered or compromised. And to further supplement this weapon's playstyle, if you have the ability to communicate with your squad, try and have a support spawn with an ammunition crate. This will allow you to resupply your spotting flares on the go and keep you going further. And that about wraps up our look at the P08 Pistol Carbine. It's an amazingly fun weapon to use that has completely changed how I view the Recon Class in Battlefield 5. So long as you know where this weapon shines and you can learn to avoid its weak spots, you can rack up some impressive scoreboard stats, and you'll be infinitely more useful to your team than some bushwookie a mile away with a boy's AT rifle. Let me know what you guys thought about this video. I tried to take a more relaxed and informal approach while presenting the stats, while still providing the same level of information that I typically do. If you have any feedback, let me know. And as always, if you liked the video, leave a thumbs up, or if you didn't, hey, leave a thumbs down. It helps me learn what works and helps the channel grow. My name is Shadox, and I hope to see you on the battlefield.